go.
Okay, this is my section of the Christmas pickups here. Of course, I traveled with Arthur. I didn't. It's different with me and Arthur. Arthur has a lot of stuff that he has, but he also has a lot of stuff he doesn't have. I'm collecting more for smaller PlayStation and stuff like that. There's way more in the library against like what a Super NES is or Nintendo. You know what I mean? I'm not even sure. I think someone told me at one point like PlayStation has like 2,000 or 3,000 games or something that was released for them. I don't know. Whereas compared to like Nintendo had like 1,000. So mainly because it was popular and there's a lot of other people who could release shit. But whatever, I'm rambling. But the library's bigger, so he has a lot more stuff to go for. When it comes to me now, I'm trying to collect for Nintendo. I got box stuff up there. I try to widen up my Sega CD, but I don't really go after disc stuff, so it limits me a lot. And being at the retro phase is really hitting hard the carts. You don't have, it's hard to get them. And I have a lot of them, so, it is what it is. But I did pick up some really good gems, so we're going to go through. I didn't get quite as much as Arthur, so we're going to go through pretty much all of them. Not that any of them are really, really interesting, but we'll go through them. Dinosaurs for Hire. Wasn't too expensive, so I thought I'd pick it up and see how it played. I'm a sucker for 32X, maybe because it's stupid, but when you get them cheap, why not? I don't see Tough Man contests very often, so I picked that up. This was actually, I got this, oops, this is another 32X, I get this out of the way. I think it's a fighting game, Cosmic Carnage. Again, cheap, picked it up. This is actually pretty cool. I don't like to pay, I paid a little bit too much for this, but I've heard it's interesting. It's one of those rare Genesis games, I believe, so I try to have those when I can. Time Killers. Very interesting fighting game. I may use it for an episode. I don't know. We'll see. It has its problems, but not something we'll go over here. Arthur was kind enough to give me a copy of Operation C. I've been looking for this for quite some time. It's actually a very good Contra game. I don't think really on Nintendo that I can think of that was a bad Contra game, except for Contra Force, which really wasn't meant to be a Contra game. But even the Game Boy releases, like his Aliens on Game Boy, and this is very good, solid games. Got a copy of Super Mario Land 2, a great game. If you've never played this series, definitely take a shot at it. It's definitely worth it. Different than the Nintendo and Super Nintendo releases, but very good. This was interesting. Picked this up. It's the PAL release of Batman Returns. I'll have to try to break out my my PAL system to play this. I did a trade with my cousin, and he gave me this. This is a pretty cool box. Track and Field 2. Not in too bad condition. Got to get the game for it. Not in a hurry to get it, though. The Immortal. Guy who I got in Missouri was very nice enough to kind of bundle this in, because I told him I wanted it, but I didn't want to pay the price that he had on it because it wasn't worth it. But he ended up giving me this for free, so I appreciate that. Always knows where you get good customers from. Doesn't have the book, but it does have the game and, of course, the box. And so that's a pretty good thing to have. I do like box stuff. Let's see. We'll get some of the other cheap crap before we get to the good stuff. Hudson Hawk. Very clean. The little label's coming up a little bit, but other than that, super clean. I don't ever see this game. Not anything to write home about. Digger T-Rock. I don't know. I really was at a loss for words for this, so we'll see. It was cheap. This I've been looking for a while. This is not in good shape by any means, but when you see a Last Action Hero and you know how shitty it is, sometimes you just got to pick it up. This will probably be one of those ones, if I ever see a better copy, I'll replace it and then sell this one, but for the time being, at least I have a copy of it. I heard it's really bad. We'll see, though. We'll put it to the test. Ghoul School. I actually have a copy of this that I bought, and it didn't work. I cleaned the fuck out of it, couldn't get it. It had a little bit of heat damage on it, so I have a feeling that it may have gotten fucked up. So, and for some reason, I really want to play this game. So, yeah, this was pretty cheap, so I picked it up. I don't see Ghoul School very often. That's not it. Okay, so now we're getting down to the good stuff here. Let's see what we got here. So, this is one of the better games. It's in good condition. It's got a little bit of stuff I got to clean up with a marker or whatnot, but I think it's a worthy copy. The label's in really good shape. This is Intergalactic, or Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. Don't see this very often. Got it for a pretty good deal. Again, I've heard it's good, so I don't. When it comes to good games like this, I don't necessarily mind paying, expensive prices. There's other games that I wouldn't do that for, but this one I would. So, not too bad a price, but I'm happy to have it and mark it off the list. This is one you will probably see in a future episode that I had to buy, unfortunately. Bebe's Kids. It's Bebe's Kids. It's Bebe's Kids. I don't know what else to say. Arthur's laughing over there. I mean, one might say, why would you do that to yourself? It's like taking your fist and slamming it into your crotch. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I really didn't know they made this game. I know the movie. Some of you may know it. This is like a poor man's version of Boondocks. But I mean, I've heard it's bad. You'll probably see it. He's laughing over there. You'll probably see it in an episode at some point. So it's not in bad shape either. So it wasn't like something that broke the bank. So I threw it on top of the stack of stuff. So that should be interesting. So we're down to the last three here. So this one was pretty cool. Very, very clean. Tom and Jerry. This is absolutely complete with the manual and the styrofoam and the sleeve. It's in really, 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 really good shape. No real crush at all. Corner's got a little bit of hits, but really, nowadays, you're gonna get some sort of corner wear if nothing else. So, but it's in really super good shape. Not a really super expensive game, but I think I got it for a good enough price to where it was worth having. And it's Tom and Jerry. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if I've ever played this game, so I may have to give this a go on there. Always enjoy getting more NES stuff when I can. We're going to go on the next one. This is probably the biggest find of the entire trip. We found this in St. Louis in a little dive store. And I was really, when I first saw it, I thought maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me, or maybe it was a misprice or something. But Alf. So, and most of you know, for the Master System, there are a couple games that are really expensive or sought after. Alf is definitely one of them. It's not a good game by any means, but it is somewhat rare. It doesn't have the book or anything like that. It just came like this. But even loose, this game can go between 40 and 60. And I got that well under that. And at retail, and at a retail store, to get that way under that, you can't pass it up. I mean, if you want a collection for Master System, this is definitely one you have to have. There's other ones like Ghouls and Ghosts, and I forget some of the other rarer titles for the Master System, but this is definitely one you should have. So to get it for a cheap price, I couldn't pass it up. So I thought that was a really good score. And the guy who ran that shop was really, really cool. So I bought a whole bunch of other stuff there too. Most of the other stuff here, you'll see that I bought from there. And then the next one we got here, actually the final one, just going to give a shout out to my my local store yet again. Some of you know I live in Arkansas, and I live very close to the Game Room Trading Post. So, I go there quite often. I get a lot of my good deals, stuff behind me there. And the guys always treat me really fair every time I go in there, so it's always a pleasure too. And you never know what you're going to get when you go in there. There's a lot of stuff there that I wanted, only a couple things that I bought. But this one, I'm really happy to have Splatterhouse 3. I have not seen this game in a very long time. I've seen some people try to sell it complete, along with Splatterhouse 2, but they usually want outrageous prices, $100 at least. So to pick this up for a really good price and have the ability to play it, I'm really excited about it. Now all I need is Splatterhouse 2, because I have Splatterhouse 1 on TurboGrafx. So definitely getting along there. So that was a really good score. It's always a pleasure to go shopping at Game Room Trading Post. So what was nice about all this stuff is I basically took a whole shit ton of my excess systems, excess games, sold them to some of my friends, sold them to some of my family, traded some in. So basically everything you saw right there was all paid for by trades. So basically the stuff that I didn't want or had doubles on, I was able to trade in and get stuff that I actually want. So that's the true thing about getting little excess things here and there, you know what I mean? To be able to turn it around and turn that stuff into things that you really want, rather than just hoarding them. I mean, what the hell do I want 4 N64s for? You know what I mean? Get them out in the world. I mean, I sold even some really less than what I should have to family members or friends, because I know they actually want to play them. Not so I can just sell them at a convention to make money. You know what I mean? I sold them so that they have the ability to play the games that they want to play. So at least they're going to good homes. So trying to help out the community as best I can. So that's my pickups for this year. They were pretty good. Arthur definitely got a lot more. but I think I got a pretty good stash. So we're closing out 2015 on the right type of deals here.